Today, we're going to talk a little bit about how I process photos for my site using Shortcuts 1 and using Affinity Photo for batch processing to make things smaller. So it really starts with, let me pull up IA Writer here too, actually. We're going to talk about the Fiery Feeds article that I just recorded. So let's go find that in my writing current projects. That'll be in editing. And Fiery Feeds. So I've actually already got them uploaded to my site right now, and we can do that with Preview, which is Shift Command P. Command P. I don't do it very often, to be honest. Preview. There we go. To bring it up. And these should load in here for me. They did before when I tested. There you go. These are actually loading off my server, so I can see what my blog post will look like. I can see all my screenshots in here, and you can see. So from over here on this side, I've taken single panel views, 1, 2, 3, and single panel 1, right, 2, 3. And I've combined them into a single image, right? I've got all of them up here. I framed all my iPad shots. I can frame basically any iOS device shots with this shortcut from Federico Vitici over at Mac Stories that I use. I'm a member, so I get access to shortcuts. I feel like the $5 a month pays for this single shortcut alone. I use it so much, and it would take me way too long to do. Because, just take me way too long to do. So this is what we're going to get to. Let's get it a preview, and let's hide it. So one of the first things I do, just to keep everything organized, is I actually would go like this, and I would select all, and I would move it. I'm just going to move it up one level, really. I'm going to go into Fiery Feeds, the folder, project folder, and move them all. Now is where we get to some of the pain in the butt part, to be honest. So we're going to actually have to open up Photos, and I'm going to put it in a split view. And then I would grab one of these, I'm going to just grab Backup and Sync options, and we're going to stick it in Photos. Now we're going to run our shortcut. Do I have it set up? Right there. And I want iOS, Apple Frames iOS. I'll click that. I'll click our single shortcut. Done. I've modified this slightly because save to files isn't technically in there. And I do save to files. And I know it's called backup and sync options because I'm starting at the top. So backup and sync options. I'm going to call it backup and sync options 2 though. It's another annoying thing. An annoying thing about naming files in iOS is that I can't get a lowercase beginning letter. So we can see it's framed now. I'm going to hit done, and I'm going to save it in the framed. I should actually name it 2 because there's already should be one in there. 2. Done. And then save. Good. I'm done. Now, unfortunately, it also means I got to go in here and I got to delete it. Delete. Because I do. And then I would actually take this backup and sync options and I'd put it into screenshots. And I just move down the line. I'm going to grab with my finger here and I'm going to grab both of those, regular setting. Then I'll drop those all into screenshots. Now, Federico's shortcut would let me take these 3 as well. So sometimes you do have to reach up with your finger instead of just using your mouse. Drop all 3 in there. And then I can run the shortcut again. Apple Frames, and I would go 1, 2, 3, and go through the same process. And it is actually the one that will put it down into the single, into the single screenshot and single view for me, all framed properly. I'm just going to cancel because I don't actually want them again. I'm going to select and delete all 3. Delete. So once I get them there, I'm actually going to take all of these. You can actually go 2-finger swipe and grab them all. Done. So it's 2-finger swipe, initiate, select all. So I just started kind of dragging as I touched it. So now I would technically have them all in framed. They're all right here. And so this is when I get to Affinity Photo. So let's go to Affinity Photo. We're going to hit the plus icon up in the top corner, and we're going to hit Batch Job. We're going to hit, so you can go to Photos or to Cloud. I'm going to go to Cloud, and you can see I'm already there. And so I would generally hit Select All, and I take out Single Panel Views and this one. mainly because they're so wide that if I compress them with the same settings as all the rest of the single like shots, they'll look terrible. They just look way too pixelated, way too compressed. So I would grab all of these, I'm gonna hit open, and then it's really a matter of just setting your things. So I know that I want 1700 wide, and it's gonna constrain the aspect ratio. That's what I want. I'm going to hit this, and I'm going to hit, I want to drop it down to 75. I find that that gets me good compression, and I'm going to turn off these two things because it's just metadata. So 75% I find gives me good compression without making it look bad. I hit OK, and then I would select my output folder. It's already there, really, so I'm just going to do C2 for compress 2, enter, drop them in there, done. And I'm going to hit batch process, export. It's that fast, pretty quick. So now we should have, so our framed ones went from stuff like, say, 3.2 megabytes, right, for that backup one, to C2 down to 153 kilobytes. Perfect. And then if we make it kind of full screen, see that, yeah, there's a bit of pixelation in there. It's not perfect, but it's good enough, especially at the size that it's going to be displayed at, which is smaller. Now we still have 2 images to deal with, and I'll deal with those manually. I'll just go in and I'll say import from cloud. I'm going to import the single panel views. This is a 3-up, and so I just hit export here. It's 9,000, so I'm going to give it like a 3,000. Done. I'm going to hit it at 75 again. Done. Single panel views. I'm going to turn off embed. Take it down to 235. We'll drop it into C2 again. That's trying to go all the way into working copy. Don't want that. We're going to go into projects, fiery feeds, C2, save. Then we're done with this. There's actually one part that I find annoying. I've got to go back in and then close this as well. It's a little tiny. I had to use my finger here. Close. Yes, I want to close you. And so if we look at single panel views, it comes up and it is, I'll do that here. All right, when we get it really big like this, again, it looks about the same. So that's wider than a lot of people are going to view it. It's wider than my site already. So it looks decent there. You can see what you're looking at without any issues. That's it. From here, I would hit, I'm going to do this. I would hit, so these are compressed. I would select all and I would move them. And this is where I'd move them. So I'd create this folder, fiery feeds. I'm not going to move them because they are already there. And I would copy them all into, this is the working copy directory for my site, into the assets, into fiery feeds. I would do that and then I'd pop over to working copy and upload them all just via Git, which is normal. I find working copy is getting a little slow. I don't know how many files I have in my main content branch or my main content folder for Statamic, but it's got to be like 3,000, something like that, 2,000 to 3,000. So I find it gets a little slow, and then I would just commit it with commit, which is right here, and then I would upload it, and then I can go back to fiery feeds, or not fiery feeds. I can go back to IA Writer. Is not even in there. Why isn't it showing up? I can go back into IA Writer and just have them show up, right? I don't want to print it. I forget how to do. Still print. Clearly, I don't know the keyboard command for preview. And then I would bring them up. You can see the second time it came up way faster than the first time. And this is about how wide my blog post will be. I don't use a dark theme, so you can see how they look, and they look reasonable to me for what I want. That's it. That's how I do process my images with shortcuts. That shortcut is from Federico Vitici over at Mac Stories, and photos, Affinity Photo, to batch process them to make them small enough. If you love the video, you can give me a thumbs up below. If you like the video, you can subscribe. Actually, that's backwards. If you like the video, subscribe. If you love the video, then I don't know. I'm totally lost. So like or subscribe, depending on what you want. Hit the bell so YouTube lets you know what's up. Make sure your device notifications are off so you can go hang out with your kids and read instead of just waiting for a video from me. And if you really loved it because, I don't know, I'm handsome, because you just really like iPad content, then by all means, head over to patreon.com/Curtis McHale, and you can support the channel. Make sure things keep coming out. Something coming up will be my review of the Arctis Pro wireless gaming headset from SteelSeries, which we just got yesterday. And we also have some more stuff coming up on Obsidian, which is it's obsidian.md, which is a note-taking app, research app, and a bunch of different research apps. Hopefully Roam Research when I get access to that. Stroll/TiddlyWiki, same thing. Noto, DevonThink, a few other ones like that to see what is the best note-taking app and what is the best research app to help you link your ideas. Have a great day.